life or what? That's not a thing. I don't think.
That's a lot.
So you've never lost $250 in shuffleboard?
Never. No. I think everyone's just doing their best.
That's
I'll be honest. I'm not even 100% sure how to play. I guess
Yeah,
you try
I-
to
we
keep.
just
I know.
Exactly.
I know you try to
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
that little that round silver thing on the wood, not into the gutter, right? I mean,
It is
kinda
good
like bowling.
fun. I think I over sand the table. I just want to get the whole
Whole
thing
thing.
sanded.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
It
like,
just slides.
that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really amazing how many different activities. If you think about it, Jackie has, Jackie's Brick House has in that back area. They've got,
It's a big place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually a huge place. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
It is.
And they keep adding on and upgrading, and they're always improving.
Well, she's got an RV park now. So.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Dang.
Does that attach to the water? Because I know.
No, there's like a portion of the bayou back there. So if
Okay.
you had a kayak or something, you could get back there.
Okay, yeah, because I know the USA Resort Park actually is on the water, and you
Yep.
can actually connect, and
Yep.
so that's interesting.
That's a good point. Yeah, Jordan and I, we have this thing about waterfront venues. Obviously, it's something we kind of took from the scene that we did for years. But we've adopted Scout Bar and some other places technically now.
Murray,
yeah,
like,
yeah, well, obviously Murray.
If it connects to the ocean, I'm telling you.
We can get there.
And then if you call it Water View, then you can add like Tookies and
Yeah.
you can add Crazy Allens, and so it's always an interesting conversation. Of course, back in the old scene days, we used to have the ultimate where you could dock, so that's like Topwater and certain venues there, and Sundance and places like that. But
Outriggers.
yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how many venues you can enjoy a view of the water while enjoying your food and
Yeah.
beverage,
Patio dining's perfect on the lake.
right?
You know what was interesting about the Outriggers view was it wasn't the best view of the waterfront dining places, but it was unique because it was a very high boat traffic.
Yeah.
And people really enjoyed, I think, just watching the boats just go back and forth.
Yeah.
And, and so there was just a certain feel to that place because of that.
totally.
Like I said, it was nice, but it was, there's better views. But that people would always tell me that just watching people park their boats and watching all the boats go by, you were right in the mix of it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, Outriggers and the original Sundance
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
in the Seabrook Shipyard. I
Yeah.
mean, those were the two where the views, because everything was bottlenecked, so you got a great
got the
view.
view,
Yeah, you
yeah.
basically, it's almost like a fortress where you controlled access into the
how long
the
has
bay.
it been?
Since Sundance?
So everybody knows I moved back to Houston in 2016. I'm born and raised here, but I spent a little bit of time, about 11 years away from home. When did Sundance change from there back to over to, or not back to, but over to Waterford?
well, they had them both for a little while.
while.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
But-
Sundance 1 and 2, is that where
Yeah.
it's okay?
Yeah, that's
that
why
makes
it's
sense
two.
now. All
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the Sundance 2, that's been a number of great restaurants
Okay,
over the years.
all
As a
right.
matter of fact, I guess we should try to name them, right?
Yeah, what you got, John? What you got?
Okay, what was it? There was one that the
what-
two Amy's owned. Moon was it Moonwater? Moon something?
I don't know.
It was Leslie's. It was a Waterford Harbor, just named after. It was actually owned by the Marine at that point. It was Leslie's. It was Moon. Man, what was that called? Moon something.
Moon Tower.
I
no?
think at some point it was Majorca's, maybe even a long time ago.
Majorca's.
And I think I'm forgetting a couple too. But it's been a lot of cool spots. But it's been Sundance. I mean, gosh, it's been Sundance 2 now for what, 8 years? Yeah,
8 or
okay,
9
yeah,
years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just
Yep, 8 or 9
yeah.
years.
I've only done the brunch, so I can't speak for the dinner. But
good.
but
They
the
have a good
brunch
prime
is
rib.
yeah, the brunch is great. So yeah.
You can always get some German beer on draft.
Yep.
Both those restaurants are interesting because they are on the water, but you feel like when you're at the restaurant that you're not like that close to the lake for whatever reason because you're kind of in the marina.
Well, you're
or
like on the
harbor.
marina.
Yeah.
But when you look at it on the map, they're both very close.
Yeah.
Like they're not that tucked away. That and Opus Ocean Grill,
Yep.
right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like I said, when you're in there, you kind of feel like, well, where's the lake? But it is right there. It's just boats, sailboats in the way, and but yeah. It's,
All right, so Opus Ocean Grill. That was Rossetti's. That was Thibodeau's. that was Claudio's. That was one of like 8 different spots Claudio's has been.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Claudio sounds like familiar. Like
He's been around.
Rossetti's, Thibodeau's, Claudio's, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. But yeah, that's a really interesting space, and
It's a
they've
nice
done a
place.
great job with it at Opus. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Charlie's done a really good job
yeah,
with it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
I think I had a birthday there 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I did my birthday. Yeah,
Nice.
So it was very nice. I enjoyed myself.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
So have you guys tried Cat Scratch Kitchen yet over there at Voodoo Hut?
I have
I have
not.
not.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jim Harvey's new restaurant. They just opened it up a couple months ago. So
Oh, Jim Harvey, yeah. I know him.
so-
He's been working here in the industry for
for a
years
long
and years.
time.
Yeah,
so-
awesome.
So, he's got his own place now, and
Good for him.
He's doing a good job. He's doing his own homemade pastrami and all kinds of stuff.
So this
Wow.
is not. This is part of Voodoo, not part of Voodoo. Explain
It's
to
kind
us
of-
the.
I'm
is-
not sure how the relationship is.
Right,
he's
but
on
he's-
the back deck of Voodoo, so
Right.
I think that there's a partnership somehow.
Okay,
but
sure.
Yeah, he's running the show with the
But he's
restaurant.
doing. He's in charge of his
He's-
kitchen.
Yeah, he's doing
so
the kitchen. And,
that's cool.
Yeah, so.
That's awesome, and he's a good guy, and he's been in
is.
the industry forever.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he's been affiliated with Bacchus and Monkey Bar,
Bar,
and
yeah.
I think a couple.
Washington
yeah,
down there.
yeah. You
in
know, a
town.
lot of popular restaurants and venues. So
Yep.
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's your favorite thing to eat over there? If you had to, say one thing.
he's got a chicken parm sandwich that's
Okay.
really
Ooh.
good.
Yeah,
Sounds
all right,
good.
that's
Yeah,
interesting.
It's pretty good. So actually,
Yeah.
everything that we've had over there has been really good.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out soon. I used to go to Voodoo 2-3 years ago, off and on. I mean, not a lot, but
It's an
I
impressive
I
facility.
spend more of my time in Seabrook these days, but yeah, no, it's wow. I mean, I've just seen that place grow from 1,500 square foot to
Yeah, one little house to
from 6,000 square foot a
Man,
deck, or
yeah.
he's
I mean,
got-
well, more than
It's
that.
a
I'm
lot,
man.
golly, yeah, it's
Almost a city block.
it is
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
pretty much.
And now, I mean, pretty much Kip Rose, like connect. I mean,
I'm
pretty
excited about that one.
much-
I'm excited.
I'm
I mean,
pretty
you know,
sure
obviously-
it's going to be a catwalk, right? You can pretty much go from Kip Rose to you're just going to be able to cut right through.
Well, there's
yeah.
definitely a walking
There's a
trail
walkway.
behind.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
there. Yeah. No, I'm excited to see. I mean, Dimitri obviously started out the Dutchman as a busboy when he was probably too young to really be busting
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
tables. I mean, he's worked his way up. Obviously, well-known bartender at Chart House, at Monkey Bar. Finally, started his own place with Bacchus and Scally's, and obviously. Consulted and was involved with Voodoo at 1.2. I mean, and just always brings so much creativity to it. And, just every photo I see of the Kip Rose, I mean, it's just such a tease. I mean, it looks looks like the entire bar is like a piece of art.
Oh, it's.
I mean,
yeah.
it's almost like it's almost a shame that people have to like walk in there and stuff because it almost looks so beautiful that
Take your shoes off. You're
Right,
like, where,
right. I mean,
where am I?
Although it's not like that at all. Trust me. But
Oh, no.
no. But it's just so. I mean, because he only does things 100%.
Yeah, he
I mean,
doesn't
there's-
go halfway on
exactly.
anything.
Yeah, and he's always got 25 different levels thought out ahead of time. So
Whoever's building his decks builds decks for life. Apparently, these things are so like they look intense.
Well, and that's
I'm
the
like,
thing,
man, this is hurricane proof right
It
here.
is.
Like, wow.
It has to
well,
be.
well, it's funny because this is why we got to give Dimitri credit. He dismantled existing decks and other things that other people would just go forward with, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it wasn't up to Dimitri code.
No,
no. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's why he's put so much time and effort into it. It's gonna be really. I'm excited. And obviously, I've got a history of its own. 504. It's always been it's a historical building. In Kemah and stuff, and it's
Were they were the first?
no,
Or
okay.
but they
So,
were all
okay.
right.
So obviously there's been two different ownership groups from Zone before Kip Rose. Then before Zone, I know there was Ambiance and Spirits. I think wasn't that one
I
of
don't
them?
remember that one.
Yeah. Gosh. Actually, there hasn't been. I mean, it's been Zone since probably probably 2007 or 8 or 9, somewhere in that range. I mean, it was Zone for a while.
What was Zone? No, my question was, and
But there's actually
were they the first to pick up Galactic? Or no? Because I know they had
Zone
it.
was
but-
one of the first. Yeah,
Okay, but
Zone,
they weren't the
Bacchus, and Cabo were the
Okay.
first. Yeah,
was
yeah.
Cabo the first though?
No, actually, Bacchus was the first.
Bacchus was the first.
Dimitri was
Okay,
the first.
all right,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah.
picked up Rocket Ride. Then Zone picked up Sneaky Blonde, and then and then it just went from there. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Back in the day,
All right.
yeah.
I knew that there was some history.
But
with
there was a
Zone
time
with
where
that, yeah.
Zone had big ass beer, Sneaky Blondes, for like $3, and they quickly figured out that this is 7.1%. Big, it was, and it was
That doesn't
going,
work.
and it was going down fast,
Yeah,
and
putting people on the floor.
Yeah. They had to, and Cabo kind of went through the same thing on their Monday night promotion back when Mama Tried used to play open mic nights. They quickly realized that we got to be a little bit more careful with the Sneaky Blonde because it is sneaky.
Yeah. I used
Yeah.
to love that beer. That was
And
one of my
then
favorites.
there was
Thank you. Yeah.
there was someone that was actually they they were pretty proud of your beer, I think, right? Yeah, you found out that the price point was pretty
Yeah,
pretty
we
good
talked
there.
about that. Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Well, yeah, there's some venues. Yeah. No, I mean, and that happens. No harm done. I mean, we won't name any names, but I mean, there's venues that would buy. The keg to them would be $95 wholesale, and then by the time they sold it, they probably pulled about $1,000 out of that.
Yeah, they were proud of it. They were proud.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah, unfortunately, but hey.
Hey, as long as they're selling it,
Hey,
right?
and actually they sold it.
That's
I mean,
it.
they unloaded a lot of it. So
Well, speaking of beer, let's touch base on that real quick. So, Miss Shauna, what are you drinking tonight? You got a
I got the Crawford Bach.
nice,
Bach.
yeah.
Crawford Bach,
So, yep,
rocking
Crawford Bach,
the famous Astro
Astro
rainbows.
stripe.
That's it, man. I
From
love it.
Jack Muni, a Brook Forest resident, actually designed that back in the day for the Astros. Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Actually,
I
he's
love those color
really
schemes.
involved with the Click. Actually, both the Wings Over Houston Air Show and the Click Chamber. He did a lot of all the posters for the Click Chamber for many years. All the posters for the Wings Over Houston.
We talked about
Air
that a
show.
lot on one of the shows I was on in Galactic one time because it was big time back when I used to wear Astros hat all the
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah, they were, and I think in the World Series or something, and we actually talked a lot about.
I remember doing
history of
a
that,
couple
so-
shows, and I think you were on one of them during the World Series. When
Yeah,
they
and
were,
we kind of broke down a lot.
I think
of
I
that
even
history,
sported
so.
my retro, the retro rainbow that,
Yeah.
that Nelly made famous again. When that one video
Yeah.
back in the day.
And then, as usual, me and John are drinking hazes. So I'm drinking a Eureka Heights out of Houston as well, right?
Oh, nice.
I believe.
Oh,
so.
I haven't had that yet.
I think
Nice.
I think this is out of
Fruity.
Houston.
Yeah,
right?
they are definitely. Yeah.
Fruity hazy haze juice. I like it. I think
So
it's
their
pretty
lead
good.
brewer is a former St. Arnold's brewer.
Okay.
He's actually
Yeah.
the St. Arnold's brewer that actually is credited with our car.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so a little.
Awesome.
And Eureka Heights, one of my favorite beers. I don't see it around much. I mean, it's like kind of a special seasonal. It's called Business Time. It comes in like the tall 4-packs.
Okay.
And they want and the HEB sometimes has them. They're like, $16. So it's kind of tough, right?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah. But it's damn good. Damn good beer. So I guess So I've been drinking. I
next.
started out with a Spindle Tap Houston Haze, and now I'm drinking a Parish. So we're representing some Louisiana beer here. Dr. Juice.
Yeah. The
but,
Dr. Juice is solid.
Very solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was very nice.
Yeah. Apparently, I can't do a show without drinking. I mean, I guess I think this is about my 150th show or something between the couple. Between
It's
this
official,
show
man.
and the Galacticos Power Hour. But I always I don't know, something about I like talking and drinking. I mean,
Hey.
it
That's okay.
works.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
I think when you got to have something to kind of quench your thirst. When you're just talking about all this fun stuff, and all the drinking and things that go on, so it just makes sense.
Well, and sometimes if I wasn't drinking, then I'd be talking the whole time, and that wouldn't be fun because nobody else
Nobody
would be
else
able
would
to.
say
Yeah, right.
It's all good. But speaking of beer, we do have a great selection of craft brewers around here.
That's true.
And we've got so many ones.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, and they're all, they've been allowed to reopen. I mean, a lot of them had to pivot and do just to go scenarios. But yeah, I mean,
But how many of them are canning now that were not canning before?
well, and that's
crazy.
something. Yeah, I mean,
so
a lot of them had to
the
really
access.
up their package game because
Yeah.
for a while, I mean, or even just package to go like growlers, filling crowlers
Yeah.
and growlers. Yeah, because they're. I mean, let's face it. For a while, on-site sales was zero. Not only in breweries but in bars, so even the kegs out the door to bars had stopped.
Yeah.
So so it forced a lot of breweries in this area to kind of pivot and really kind of re-establish themselves, or create new revenue streams and figure out new ways to generate revenue. Yeah. So but yeah, now I believe all the tap rooms are back open, and I think it's going to stay that way. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Governor Abbott's pretty much said there's not going to be another shutdown.
That's what he keeps saying, but hopefully.
Yeah, so fingers crossed.
Knock
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
wood.
he has not gone back on some things, but times are crazy. But yes, I hope that another shutdown would be tough. I mean,
It'd be
there's
brutal,
just
yeah.
so much at stake.
sure, for
People don't realize.
Yeah,
so.
I guess our main message is just be careful. Be
yeah.
responsible, wash your hands.
Yep.
Wear a mask when you can. I mean,
Yeah. At the end of the day, they can't police you. You have to police yourself. You know, they can't they can do certain things, but I mean, really, you're responsible for it. And I don't think that, you know, it should be up to us. We should be the ones that should be practicing it and not force, but just doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because what happens is if we're not responsible and the numbers go crazy and all, you know, then they have to do something.
Sure,
So, you know,
sure.
so let's try to do our part to
Yeah.
not even put the politicians in that situation,
spot.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.